Hello everybody, this is video number 2, and it's the Grateful Dead deck. I love this deck. So instead of playing some ambient music that I normally play, I'm going to be playing the Dead. And I think Estimated Prophet would be one of the better songs for something like this. So let me get at it, and let me divvy up these cards for you. So I'm using a different thing than the Mausoleus this time. I'm using the Angel here, because I think that's more fitting for Grateful Dead than evil stuff. Give it a last little stir. These cards are really fresh. I've only used these very limited. I'd like to use them more, but they have some differences. And when you're trying to do reads for people, as you see today with the last read, when you use new decks, it gets a little sloppy because you got to read until you learn those decks up and down. But that's okay. That's how you learn them. And anybody that's learning how to do these, that tells you don't be afraid to use the books, because even people that's been doing it for 20, 30 years has to do it, especially with brand new decks and Oracle decks, as you guys all know, because they all have their own rules and everything. And like I said before, every time we use the Gypsy cards, we actually read from there, because that's a big part of our reads. So this is one of my favorite bands ever. Okay. I got this one here. These Angel ones are tough because I gotta read them differently. And they're in like multiple languages, which a lot of these decks are as well. So let's get this going here. See what the energy is. Oh, okay. I see what it is. Okay. This read is about vulnerability and freedom. So it seems like maybe you're vulnerable when you're trying to get your freedom, but it's hard to achieve because you're vulnerable. And then this one right here, the fountain, that represents the star. And as you can see, you're filling up here. Let's see what the guide here says for this one, because it is a different one. That's normally the star. So hope, rebirth, and renewal. So again, that goes with that. If you're trying to achieve your freedom, you're trying to get that renewal, rebirth. So that is definitely a good thing. And then the Seven of Swords, I believe, is the skulls. So that one is life is full of changes. The hard times don't have to define you. You're ready to rise up above the negativity that has been pulling you down. So that's a really good one too. And again, that goes with the vulnerability. Let's see what we have here. The Attic, that's number 9. That's the Hermit. So you definitely, that means that you want to be alone. There's something that you want to change. You want your freedom, and through freedom is alone. You want to have that peace. The Saint. We're getting a lot of major arcanas in this one. That one is the Hierophant. It's a spiritual. So you might be wanting to look towards like a spiritual avenue. Maybe church or something like that. maybe witchcraft, maybe whatever religion you are, a strew. But maybe that right there helps you, your guidance to your freedom. Oh, the Fool. So that means a new beginning, but that's the reverse right there, where it's positioned. The Storyteller. So it's disassociation. Again, this is a part of your vulnerability. You're having problems disassociating with things. You're having trouble starting your new beginning, getting that freedom. Your vulnerabilities that are holding you back. And this is the Hangman. Again, you're hung up. This is almost all major arcanas. This is crazy. But this is a new deck, but I started up pretty good before using it, so. And the way I pull them, it shouldn't be, you know. But you're hung up. Again, your vulnerabilities have you tied down, and you can't get out of it. The Knight of Roses. I do believe the roses are cups. So this is about passion, pleasure, maybe a romance. Maybe you'll find someone that helps you find your freedom. There's going to be a big event. There's going to be a big emotional event happening in your life here coming up. So that's all going to be leading. All this is leading up to this, and it could be your freedom, that your passion, whatever that passion is. And then the Knight of Bears. I do believe bears are the pentacles. That's the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Bears has a mission and is ready to put in the time and effort to ensure success. Patient and dedicated. He takes a disciplined and careful approach to life. If there's a problem, he will seek a practical solution. When the Knight of Bears arrive, it is time to put the work necessary to achieve your goals. And that's a really good lesson. Now, bear with me on this one, everyone. It is, the negative. We're getting the fallen angels here. I know where to get this one, so I already know where to find him. So that is the Sorcerer Angel. He represents a person who practices magic. This card should be analyzed in accordance with the cards its left and right in order to understand its full meaning. The card on its own represents hostility, adversary, black magic, misuse of mental powers, madness. So that would be your vulnerabilities right there. It could be, you might have anxiety, you might have a mental health condition that hold you back a lot, you know? Let's see what this is. That is a crossroads, I do believe. And crossroads at your life. Yep, that is what that is. That's exactly what that was. Let me get to it though. Choices, decisions, hesitation, going separate ways. Again, your freedom, your vulnerability, you want to get away from that. 23. I should just leave this thing open while I'm doing this. Okay, mice, worry and anxiety, small problems adding up, a deep-seated concern, a draining situation. So that goes with this. And it goes with this too. And 28, again, I should have left that open. I should have just sat on it. And then we got 28, the man, the quartet. Male associate, friend or family member. Male influence, husband, lover, or romantic interest. And that corresponds with the Knight. So what this is telling me overall is that you want your freedom. You want something really bad. And that freedom is your peace. You're vulnerable right now. So you're trying to achieve everything. You're trying to be reborn and everything. You want to be a hermit. You want that freedom, that peace. But you're having a problem disassociating from your vulnerabilities. But you might find help in the spiritual guidances. You're hung up with it. Again, you're hung up with your vulnerabilities and with your trying to start anew. And there's a passion there. There's something that you really want really bad. And again, it has to be that freedom. And it's coming, but you have to work hard for it and dedication. But there's a big, big uphill battle with this. As you have, it seems to have maybe mental problems, which is all right. We all have those. And these point towards definitely a struggle. So if this is yours, I definitely wish you the best and good luck on dealing with whatever you're dealing with. And I hope you achieve your freedom.